YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today, guys, we'll be talking about Memento. So more specifically, Memento and Thunder Dragons. Now, I've been searching out for a Thunder Dragon and Memento deck, but there's not quite a lot of resources that I can gather. I tried looking into one in YugiOh Pro, and there was like a couple, but it's mostly on TCG, and it's not really up to date with some other decks as well. So I went to YouTube and checked out some other builds. There was one that was used during the festival, but it wasn't ranked. So might as well gonna make my own Memento deck with the Thunder Dragons. Now, you might be triggered enough with the main deck on 47 cards, but I think you can just go with 2 of each here. I tried this one earlier. It was kind of okay, just cutting it down into a 40 card deck. But so far, 47 is not half bad. To be honest, I mean, you can still bring out most of your cards, or all your cards for that matter. But yeah, 47 is still okay though. You need your hand traps as well, because this is Masters, and a lot of people are using hand traps. 1 card for this and you basically lose your game. You don't have really a follow-up unless you have a copy of Tatsu on your hand. There are some awkward times as well with this deck that you'll draw into more hand traps than usual, or some spell and traps. That's why I'm cutting more spell and traps with this deck rather than monsters. I tried other builds as well that doesn't rely mostly with main deck monsters, but it wasn't that great. So yeah, this is the build that I actually settled into and played in Masters. 2 copies of Super Poly, 2 Twin Dragons, 1 copy of Colossus. Now you can also tribute Sprite Elf here if you can't bring out a copy of the Thunder Dragon monsters to the field. It is still considered as a Thunder monster, and you can still tribute it for a copy of Colossus on the field, which is pretty nice. Nightmare monsters, 1 SP Little Knight. You can summon that one with the help of Masquerina, which is pretty good. And yeah, 1 copy of Guardian Chimera in case you have a Memento monster that you can use for your Memento fusion. So if you summon 1 monster, including the Memento monster on the field, or yada yada yada, summon Guardian Chimera, draw 2 cards, or draw 1, pop 1 or 2. That's basically it. That is the gist for the deck. I'll be showing you guys the 1 card combo for this deck, so that you know what to do with this deck as well, and some 2 or 3 replays for this gameplay as well. So without further ado, let's go to the combo. Alright guys, so here we are with a 1 card combo with the Dark Blade, but since we don't have the Dark Blade, let's get a hold of it. Now the Gold Sark is typically just an addition, or the Thunder Dragons are just basically addition for this combo, but you basically just need the Dark Blade for this one. You can do the same combo with the Angwitch, but it's much better with the Dark Blade so that you have more materials that you can spin back from the graveyard with the use of Combined Creation. So with this, let's start with our combo. Go with Dark Blade first. Pop itself, gain access to our Angwitch. To the field. Use the effect of Angwitch, gain access to our Tatsu. Tatsu will then spell summon itself. Pop itself, dumping 3 cards. Now we go dump Gathic, Goblin, and Mace to the grave. We use the effect of Gathic in the graveyard, but don't use the effect on the field, because we'll use that one later. Use the effect of Angwitch, target Mace, pop itself. Then use the effect of Mace, gain access to the fusion. And then we fusion summon the Twin Dragon. So with this, we spin back Mace and a copy of Tatsu here. Now once Twin Dragon is on the field, we pop itself. Gain access to 2 cards. That would be the Horn Dragon and a copy of Combined Creation. So with this, use the effect of the Twin Dragon since it was destroyed. Special summon the Goblin. And with Goblin, pop itself. Gain access to, or dumping a copy of the field spell and a copy of the trap card, the Cranium Burst. Now once that happens, I will summon the Horn Dragon to the field, going for our end board. We special summon a copy of Sprite Elf. Sprite Elf will then spell summon the Gathic back to the field, and then we'll use the effect of Gathic. gain access to our field spell, activate it, and then we'll use the Memento Fusion in the grave. So any Memento monster is destroyed, or any monster is destroyed on the field, we can spell summon one Memento monster from our graveyard. So we get a copy of Bone Party from our Fusion, and then trigger our field spell. So we spell summon our Goblin. For fodder later, we'll use the effect of Bone Party, pop our Combined Creation on hand, spell summon our Mace now. So we spell summon our Mace, and then we go for a copy of IP Masquerena for an additional interruption. And with this, we lastly summon our copy of Combined Creation by sending back or spinning back Dark Blade, Angwitch, Twin Dragon, Horn Dragon, and please take note to have Gathic and Mace in the graveyard for our opponent's turn. So we go for Goblin here, spin back. So that's the 5 monsters, and summon our Combined Creation on the field. And once that happens, if you have a copy of Gold Zark, much better because you can do the Thunder Dragon summon as well. So you banish a copy of Dragon Dark, use the effect of Dragon Dark, gain access to this one here, Dragon Hawk, special summon. There we go. And then we use that one for our Thunder Dragon Colossus, which is pretty nice. During the end phase, we end the turn, use the effect of the field spell, set our Cranium Burst, and that is our board. So that is basically the combo right there, guys. You have 5 monster negates, a Colossus that doesn't allow your opponent to add cards, a Masquerena that you can go into a copy of SP Little Knight or Appaloosa if you wish, Sprite Elf, spell summon the Gathic to the field. Gathic will then bounce back a copy of Mace from the graveyard to our hand so that we can do a change of heart effect. So that is the combo, guys. Let's go to our replays. Alright guys, so here we are with our first replay. We have 1 Ash, 1 Angwitch, 1 Nibiru, 1 the field spell, and 1 Imperm here. So our guy is going first. So he's going to go for a copy of Resonator Call. Now, I would not like to Ash Blossom here because he might have a copy of Gamma, or he already has a copy of the Soul Resonator or the Bone Archfiend on hand. So might as well going to go for Bone Archfiend Negate later along. I'm going to go for a copy of Soul Resonator, getting a copy of his Bone Archfiend, summoning the Bone Archfiend to the field. Using this effect, I should have gone with a copy of Imperm here. But nevertheless, it was perfectly fine. I just want to shut down immediately with the use of Ash Blossom so that he can sink into the Red Rising. The only choice that he can do here is go for a copy of Pixie, which is the only Synchro Dark monster that he can actually summon to the field. And with, of course, a 3k defense, shocking as it is. He got a copy of Finish Golem, which is target 1 monster. That's pretty good. And then that's basically it. Follow-ups for his hand. We use the effect of the field spell just to trigger anything else. He will trigger Backseat for some reason. I can use Gamma, but he has an Ash Blossom. Now I was thinking, should I go through with a combo here or not? Luckily I have the Gamma and a Nibiru and a copy of Imperm here, so I just needed to like skip 1 more turn here, and I don't want him to draw more cards. So yeah, I'll just take in the 2-100 plus any monster that he summons to the field, since I have good interruptions, by the way. So he's gonna go for Crimson Gaia, and I almost forgot the effect of Pixie Dragon here, that it only activates if there's a face-up field spell on the field. So forgot that one. He's gonna go for a copy of Soul Resonator. Luckily we have Gamma for that one. I think he forgot for some reason, but yeah. And it met the criteria. I was trying to put it on attack position so that he can't like attack over my driver, but it just pops because of the effect of Pixie, which I needed for a defense, of course. So he's gonna go for Bone Archfiend from the graveyard, dumping a copy of Red Rain. And at this point on, that back row is negated and can't activate, and he'll just pop a copy of Pixie Dragon. Luckily, with my field spell, I can spell summon one Memento from my graveyard or my hand, so I summon the Anguish, get a copy of Dark Blader for the next turn. So that's still pretty good. And if he's gonna go with a combo, I have Nibiru. Go for an attack, and we are cleared. And we still have Driver in the graveyard, by the way, so that's good. During my turn, I go for a copy of Super Poly, which is pretty nice, a really good draw. Going for a copy of the only out to the Fiendish Golem, which is the Mud Dragon of the Swamp. So change this guy into a Dark Monster, so all of my Dark Monsters can't be targeted for an effect. And I can just go with a combo. So my goal here is to summon the Horned Dragon on the field so that I can pop the 2 back rows. Use the effect of the Goblin, dumping the Creation and the Mace to the graveyard. Summon the copy of Horned. Use the effect of Anguish, pop the Horned, and summon the Mace to the field. And since the Horned was popped, I can pop 1 Memento on my side and 2 cards on my opponent's side. So at this point, I can just summon the Creation to the field, plus some other monsters going for an OTK. So that is our first game. Let's go to our second game. Alright guys, so game number 2. Like I said, there are going to be scenarios where you'll have awkward hands like this. So we have Dragon Roar, Dragon Dark, 1 reinforcement, 2 copies of Super Poly. So I just needed like to trigger an Ash Blossom or Maxi here, and I'll stop everything. Go for Roar, go for Dark. For some reason, this guy just go for it, or went for an Ash Blossom here. So yeah, I might as well gonna go for a reinforcement since he actually used the Ash. Go for Dark Blader on the field, get a copy of the Anguish to the field. Anguish will use its effect, get a copy of Tatsu. So this is the typical combo that you've seen earlier. So just gonna fast forward this. Tatsu will dump 3 cards, Gathic will be spell summoned to the field, Anguish will get the Mace to the field. Now the difference with the combo earlier is this is a minor misplay on my part, by the way. So instead of summoning I'll show you later. So getting a copy of Horned Dragon plus the Combined Creation. Spell summon the Goblin to the field. Goblin will dump the copy of the field spell plus the Cranium Burst. Going for a copy of Sprite Elf. And Sprite Elf will spell summon the Gathic, and Gathic will gain access to the field spell. So use the effect of the field spell. And then use the effect of the fusion so that we can pop the card. Spell summon the Goblin in the graveyard. For material, use the effect of the Bone Party that we got from the Memento fusion. And then instead of summoning the monster to the field, I added it to my hand. So this was a minor misplay on my part. This should have been like an additional summon of IP Masquerena. But regardless, it's still perfectly fine. So we got the Mace on hand, summon the Creation to the field. Now I really wanted the Thunder Dragon Colossus on the field, so might as well gonna use or sacrifice my elf for the Colossus. So this was not half bad, but we could have done better. So during our opponent's turn, draw 1 card, go for Super Poly. And that's the life of my Colossus. So yes sir, and he went for a copy of Mud Dragon of the Swamp, by the way. So since a card is activated, I can use the effect of the Combined Creation, getting the Goblin to the field for an additional body, in case. Told you guys that this is Blue Eyes Horus deck, for some reason. So going for Mace, and he's trying to not use the effect of his Horus monster here because I have the Cranium Burst. So with that, go for Super Poly after he summoned the Draglubian to the field, going into a copy of Mud Dragon of the Swamp. So, yes sirree. And with this, on my turn, I just went ahead, went for an attack. You might think that this is a misplay on my part, but it's not. I was trying to just attack the monster there, but I needed materials for a follow-up next turn. That's why I used the effect of the field spell. But it was perfectly fine though. It was not half bad. Go for Super Poly, spell summoning the Twin Dragon to the field. Twin Dragon will pop itself. Gain access to the Horned Dragon. Get a copy of Dark Blade, and then use the effect of Twin Dragon, spell summon the Goblin to the field. Spell summon our Horned Dragon, and then a copy of Dark Blade, gaining a copy of Anguish. Pop 2 cards on the field, and so that he can summon the other Horus monsters. Which, of course, all we need to do is just make a board here with the IP Masquerina, summon the Combined Creation, and if during his turn he activates a monster effect, I can use the effect of Combined Creation to spell summon a monster on the field for IP Masquerina going into a copy of SP Little Knight. So our guy, during his turn, used the effect of the White Stone of Ancients. So this allowed me to gain access to one material from the graveyard, which is Mace, since that's the only Memento monster. Yeah. So we have Fodder for SP Little Knight, and that's basically it. Alright, so our last game, guys, we have one Ash, one Anguich, one Dragon Dark, one Super Poly, and a copy of Imperm here. So our guy is going first, going for a copy of Ariane, dumping a copy of Rollback. We Imperm that one because we don't want him to summon anything else. So at this point, I need my Ash Blossom for a negate if he has a copy of Welcome Labrynth. So negate the Ariane, and that's basically his board with one back row. So not half bad. I think we can destroy this. And I'm trying to like force anything else or any interaction at this point on. So whatever hand trap he has, I need to force it for Dragon Dark or the back row. Either way. So drop a copy of Dragon Dark, get a second copy of it. Use the effect of Anguich, getting a copy of Tatsu, and at this point our guy's just holding on to a copy of the Daruma Cannon, by the way. So Tatsu dumping 3 monsters to the graveyard, summon the Gathic to the field. Anguich is going to spell summon the Mace. Mace will get a copy of our Bone Party since we already got the fusion. Go for a fusion, and then summon the Twin Dragon to the field, pop itself. And then same old combo, you know. Horn Dragon and then Combined Creation, and then spell summon the Goblin to the field from the Twin Dragon, and then our guy now just use the effect of the Daruma Cannon. Now I don't want him to use the effect of Lady Labrynth here, so I might as well gonna go for Super Poly. That's it. Going for Garura, flipping my cards face down. Now all I need to do is send Garura to the graveyard. So use the effect of Memento Fusion, gain access to the field spell, and then with the Garura, gain access to one more card. So with this, it's pretty good. It's still pretty good though. So during his turn, summon Ariana, Ash Blossom it, and that's basically the game. So pretty nice. We were lucky with the draw on that one. But anyways, guys, tell me your thoughts on the Memento and Thunder Dragon deck. Can you make it better? If so, comment down below. Keep safe, good luck. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.